You make a fine point.
What? Be quick about it.
Ford. I'm your mother.
I don't think that's not funny.
Look, a bookseller. She can point us to the tome I need.
Literature department. Can I help you? Whoosh. These books are sensitive. They prefer an environment of quiet reverence. Bold. You might have heard that our library has a collection other shops would lack the skill to curate. Between us, even Master LORROAKAN was reluctant to house them in his tower. The pen is mightier than the magic wand, apparently. They're locked away here for their and our customers' safety. Our finest reserve includes the Tharkiot Codex, the Annals of Karsus and Netherese Folly, Sights of the Seelie, and the Curriculum of Strategy. Do any of those interest you? It is said to be written by Lord Karsus himself, the Netherese arcanist who attempted to replace the goddess Mystra, failed, and was banished for the attempt. Great magical knowledge lies within those pages, but not many can withstand it.
That's it. That's what I need.
The Annals of Karsus would no doubt have much to say about the Crown's true nature. If only you could read them.
Buy? Books as temperamental as these are not on sale. They are secured in our vault, where none can harm them, nor can they do any harm. Consider yourself lucky to have learned of such a book's existence, and then forget about it. The Annals of Karsus are best left unread. Customers like you are why I prefer the company of books. The only way to gain access to the vault is through my office. And before you ask, no, you are not allowed in there either. Psst. I already told you. It is locked in our vault. And with good reason. Imagine if a tome so dangerous was sold to someone with such poor comprehension. You certainly have. Even simple knowledge of these tomes is enough to stimulate most.
Oh, yeah.
Madness.
Welcome, dear patron, to the floor at the top of the stairs. If you have information about the Nightsong, great riches await. If you are here to waste the great wizard LORROAKAN's time, reconsider. Let your knowledge determine your path forward.
I already have 2 copies of this.
Here we go.
The Nightsong is an ancient potion that allows its drinker to become irresistibly attractive to man and god alike. The Nightsong is a druidic staff that allows its bearer command over an army of ancient beasts. The Nightsong is a priceless ruby from a realm beyond our own. The Nightsong is an immortal being, the child of a deity.
Very efficient you'd be.
Directly.
No one back home will ever believe this. Not a title for me, I think.
Hold very still, Nicklaw. Craig's aim is much improved, but still leaves something up to chance.
Yes, sir.
All right, Craig. Ready? Aim. We have a visitor. At ease. McClaw, you may go. I see no Nightsong. Surely you wouldn't have entered my tower without the Nightsong in hand, hmm? Surely my worthless apprentice wouldn't have allowed you to waste my time. Fascinating. You've been to Shah's temple, haven't you? To the Shadowfell? And the Nightsong? Speak true now, for I detest a liar. Dead? That cannot be. It is immortal. A god. Is that meant to be some consolation? It was the key to my immortality. How can this be? How can this be? Shit! Shit!
Moving ahead. Something's on my mind.
Your terrible tidings have cost me everything! My grand design! Dashed to ruins! This always happens to me!
Pick up some hair ointment for your father. You might want to be careful.
Mother's milk, your visage speaks of ill tidings. Speak, ally mine. What troubles you? Is he indeed? Pray tell, what does he seek from Dame Aelin? Magicians and their machinations. I have had enough for an eternity. I will wring his neck until he's dead. Oh, his end will be one more strand in the great braid of our friendship.
I'm coming with you. I'd like to get a few licks in myself.
My darling, we agreed you'd scout for the nearest Selûnite enclave this very night. Let us divide our efforts, all the sooner to be reunited.
I won't let you go alone. Who knows what this wizard might have planned?
Our closest ally will accompany me, won't you? It will be a swift and fruitful chore. Hie we to this LORROAKAN right away. I am as eager to meet him as he is to ensnare me. What have we here? A magician in a tower, hiding away from the frightening world. What are you so scared of, Magus? Not the Nightsong, surely? Why, she's nothing but a relic to be purchased and pursued.
My God. The Nightsong is a person.
By my honor, it's you. My dear, I thought you were...
You will address me with due deference. I am Dame Aelin. And you are a whelp without honor, without pride, with nothing but a tower full of trinkets.
Oh, my apologies, Dame Aelin. I meant no disrespect. I asked our mutual friend here to make an introduction that I might get to meet the famed daughter of Selûne. Forgive me for that impudence. Perhaps our friend can bridge the gap and do what I believe they came here to do?
My steel-hearted friend speaks true. Give me one good reason, Magus, Why I should not strike you down where you stand.
Dame Aelin, I have discovered a device that would allow your immortality to be shared. It would cause you no harm, no pain of any kind. You serve your mother Seluna, I believe. She who has blessed our realm with so many gifts. Honor her by sharing yours.
You dare to threaten me with the same magic that held me in torment for 100 years? You do not seek to share my gifts. You seek to poach them.
I had hoped to appeal to your better nature. Perhaps I overestimated you. No bother. I have an arsenal of implements capable of convincing you to see reason. A pity you didn't prove a more reliable ally. You could have reaped the rewards of my good favor. I'd hoped you'd keep an open mind, but it seems you're determined to make this as difficult as possible.
Master, let us show these amateurs the price they pay for challenging real wizards.
I have great plans for you, Dame Aelin. And if you will not go quietly, then you'll go kicking and screaming.
Magicians and their plans for Dame Aelin. Predictable, sadistic, flaccid.
Myrmidons! Imperatum!
Onward.
take you.
Let's have some courage. Shouldn't have made me your enemy. Too much to bear. torment. Cool.
LORROAKAN. You who would see me caged. You who would purchase my submission with profane gold. Let every wicked magus, every vile murtherer, each slaver and misery merchant see. Dame Aelin is watching. She is indomitable. And when her face lights the shadows of your wrongdoing, you are broken by its beauty!
What am I to do?
All right. What now? Anything of use?
A long way from Waterdeep. On it. I venture forth.
The Firehead Fool is dead. Yet as I stare upon his corpse, I feel sadness. Why? A gripping in the chest, as though I'd lost someone. Something. Paladin's fatigue, no doubt. You were excellent in battle, as is your way. And I am proud to fight at your side. I will catch my breath, then to camp I will bring my bones. Moon Maiden be with you.
This will come in handy.
Goblin party cookies. You must have some sort of merit. Everything is off.
Let's move. Can't slow down.
Aelin left to face that wizard, LORROAKAN, was it? Even after all she's been through, she thinks herself unstoppable, invincible. It all feels like recklessness to me. He can harm her, just as Ketherick did. She'll survive it, but she can suffer like any of us, and for longer. I wanted to help her, but she said she fights better when she knows I'm safe. I understand, I suppose. I feel the same about her. I'll rest a little easier if you do. You fought well against my father. I imagine a rat like LORROAKAN will be nothing in comparison.
You sleep, but the wicked don't. Someone is here to disturb your rest.
Get the hells away from me!
Peace, brother. We're here to take you home.
The Master needs all 7 of us for the ceremony. Come with us and be reborn. We'll live again.
The right. The Master needs him. He must attend.
Oh, I'm well aware of what the Master needs. But don't we deserve better?
Better? What do you mean, better?
After all these centuries of torment, I know what you all want. More than power. More than to walk in the sun. You want to see him dead. The right of profane ascension will be mine. And he won't see a scrap of its glory. I am going to complete the ritual as the Ascendant, and then I am going to kill him! This is your chance. Stand with me. Name me your new master. We will get our revenge. And you will all live again.
His liar's smile spells danger. He knows full well that his kin will die in the ritual, but if any of the bearers of the scar die before the ritual begins, he will lose his chance to perform the rite himself. He needs them to run willingly to their deaths, thinking they stand a chance against their master.
I'm doing what I have to. I can't be what you want to see in me.
Die in the ritual? Whatsoever are you speaking of? We are going to cheat undeath. The Master doesn't need to lie to us. He controls us. Fully. Why go through the trouble of giving us hope?
Because it's more cruel. Shit, we're doomed. All right. What do you need from us? We'll help you.
The bonds hold. He owns us. We have no choice. We must obey. Get out of here, Astarion, before...
There's blood in the air. It's moving.
Don't get too close.
On my way.
Let's spill some blood.
I wonder if this is worth the cost. This is good. Where do we go from here? survival is all that matters.
What a mess. Well, at least you've met my family now. He will be furious. And he'll be even more furious when I get to that crypt and stop him. For what it's worth, thank you. No matter what happens down there, you helped me stand up against him.
If not over, then through.
What's up for discussion?
Ally mine. We are reunited once more. I was just regaling sweet Isabel with tales of our prowess.
Very impressive. Thank you for helping Aelin. That wizard sounded absolutely dastardly.
I always do, with darling Isabel by my side. Enjoy the spoils of your victory. Spin memories of LORROAKAN's death in your mind like silk floss. My darling, we must inform our friend of our news.
Indeed. I've scouted a Selûnite enclave outside the city. They faced the Absolute's armies and come out battered and bruised. Aelin and I will go to them, provide what help we can.
But fear not. When the time comes for you to face the foe of foes, Isabel and I will stand by your side.
We wouldn't miss it. Not for anything.
Go well, friend. We will see you soon. And with our great powers combined, this city will be saved.
Then where are we going? Figurants. Pick up some hair ointment for your fur. Apparently LORROAKAN. That's why we need the ointment.
At least things have stayed interesting.
I simply must have it.
Let's go.
Oh. Perhaps not.
You don't have permission to be here. You're about to be ejected. You managed to talk your way in. No easy feat.
Time to press ahead. I'll give it a shot. Curious.
Storage and sorting of scrollwork, parchment, and tomes.
Something smells tasty. The element of surprise. With pleasure.
What to do?
Trust no one. Let's crack it open. Well, well. Someone's a treasure trove of wicked spells.
Charmed, I'm sure. Let's explore.
Still breathing, despite everything. On my way.
Careful, I bite. Oh, for a skeleton key. Someone doesn't like visitors.
Named after wizards. There's Ramazith, Elminster, Silverhand, and Karsus. The animals must be behind his door.
Someone's left a trap out for us. Interesting.
Best be on my way.
Considerate. Tread carefully. Very well, then.
The path to the Elminster Vault.
With pleasure.
side.
Don't touch me.
Looking ahead. Never a dull moment. Very well.
The Annals of Karsus. The preamble to a civilization's downfall, committed to parchment by the very hand that wrought its destruction. If the crown atop the Elder Brain was truly forged by Karsus himself, this book will confirm it. All we have to do is turn the page. Devil Raphael was telling the truth. There's no doubt. The crown of Karsus is what's controlling the Elder Brain. And this is no mere journal. It contains Karsus's original plans for the crown's construction. His designs for godhood. Not exactly. It was what he did with it that sealed his fate, and, for a time, that of magic itself. The crown was merely the means. The book states that the crown and netherstones were originally one construct, seemingly sundered at the moment of Karsus's downfall. If we can collect the crown's setting and the 3 netherstones, and with the correct invocation of certain spells and gestures detailed in these notes, I think I could reforge it. To every end you can imagine, and 1,000 more beyond. Just think of it. The power of the gods in mortal hands at last would be free of doctrine and dogma, confined only by the limits of our imaginations. I promise you, the gods will never grant us such a blessing, no matter how much we worship and adore them. I don't know. Ao does not look kindly on gods meddling in mortal affairs. She may have no choice but to stand by and let events unfold. Even with the fate of the world at stake, she had little more to offer me than the means of blowing myself up at a more convenient time. She's done nothing to help us. Mistra wanted the brain obliterated because of this crown. She fears a world in which such power is beyond her control, ready to be claimed by Karsus's successor. Neither of us can know what truly may be if we don't at least try. Potential is nothing in itself, just a fleeting dream unless we drag it into the waking world. Please, at least think on it. Powerful as he was, Karsus lacks some advantages I can lay claim to. I know Mistra intimately, and I carry a fragment of the weave itself within my body. Karsus achieved many things, but he never managed that. A long road lies ahead before the crown comes into our possession. All I ask for now is that you do not dismiss this possibility out of hand. Please, at least think on it. This is no passing whim. Trust me. If I can obtain that crown, it will affect us all. It's not a decision I'll take lightly. It's our future that I'm thinking of. Can't rely on anyone else to do it for us. For now, we've learned all we can. Whatever comes of this, we cannot allow the crown to be reforged in Raphael's image. A devil wielding the might of Karsus. It would be the end of everything.
Salutations. With ease. On it.
Jeremy and his mother gone?
Elminster?
Oh, hello, my boy. No, don't mind me. I'm just enjoying a lungful of Baldurian air. Yes, a distinctive aroma, though perhaps not one worthy of bottling. Tell me, what curiosities have you and your companions discovered within the walls of this esteemed emporium? So, you have learned the truth of the enemy we face. The very tool with which its eponymous creator unmade magic itself. Perhaps now you understand what is at stake here, my boy. Though what Mr. asked of you was extreme, it was not without merit, nor demanded lightly.
What are you saying? Or rather, what are you not saying?
Mr. knows you defied her, Gale. Well, of course she knows. She's Mistra. She bids you come to her holy shrine in the Stormshore Tabernacle. There, she will grant you an audience at last. I see remaining optimistic is my duty, especially when I'm not the one being asked to do the seemingly impossible. Trust in yourself. Trust in the weave, if you are willing. Trust in Mistra. There is a conclusion yet to be written in this sorry tale, Gale of Waterdeep. And yours is the quill that will write it.
No one stopped me yet.
Calm down, Fighter. You're louder than the fire. So all it took to get Mistra's attention was to learn how to reforge an artifact that once destroyed her. It's obvious when you stop to think about it. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Now I'm just a regular wizard holding the blueprint for greatness. Mistra knows I've read Carsus's designs. I'm certain of that. And it clearly has her shaken. This is a conversation that's long overdue on both sides. I owe it to her to hear her out. Come what may afterwards. After you.
These boots have seen everything.
Interference with flaming fist. Robert, still have my duty. No, step back. I know how to use this bow.
Let me work my magic. Yes, as you wish.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mistra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Well, go on then. It's rude to keep a goddess waiting.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Am I? You're right. I am a strong, capable wizard. And this is no more than a casual reunion with an ex-lover. My omnipotent, omniscient ex-lover. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. Oh, that hardly matters. There's not much further I could fall in Mystra's estimation. But I'd like to at least leave her with something to think about. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm gonna have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. You'd make a fine three-dragon anti-player, you know? I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of three-dragon ante. I'll let Mystra show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite weave.
You can no more control the Karsite weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
Great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Back on mortal soil once more. I can't believe I saw her. After all this time. Relieved. Drained. Proud of myself for summoning the courage to go to her in the first place. And, if I'm being totally honest, a bit lightheaded. As if it wasn't enough to have seen her again. She didn't exactly summon me there for small talk. The Karsite weave. Within me this whole time. I knew the orb was no ordinary ball of magic before it to be Karsus's malignant creation. Gods! How did I not see that? But I should have known. What right had I to go about declaring myself an archmage when I was as foolish as a common apprentice in setting such an entity loose? At least now I'm armed with the truth. And Mistress' expectations. It sounds like the door to redemption is open at last. All I have to do is walk through it, carrying the crown of Karsus. Thank you. There aren't many I'd trust to stand beside me on such a journey. Fewer still who would do so because they believed I deserved such a chance. If I could promise you one thing in return for your faith in me, it's this. I will use everything in my power to ensure we defeat this evil. I will not let you down. Now, I believe we've a date with an Elder Brain to get to. Shall we?
Can't give up now.